What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode. And in today's video, we're taking a look at what's going on with Kanye West's Vultures 2, including the latest merch and much more. Now, before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to the homie Strain Beats, who's been cooking up the beats for these videos, so make sure you guys check him out. And while you're here, you might as well drop a like and subscribe and join our free Discord to stay up to date with the latest and the greatest. Shout out to all of my chefs in there. Now, if you've been following my channel at all over the last couple of months, it's no secret that I love to cover Ye related content, and you're a real one if you've been sticking around. So naturally, you can imagine my reaction to seeing Ye dropping the album just days after I embarked on a 2-week-long vacation to Europe, in which I hardly had access to internet. And while I was extremely skeptical on whether or not Ye was actually going to deliver this album, as let's be real, he's fumbled these releases several times in the past, I was extremely surprised to see that the album had actually dropped and was receiving a ton of mixed reactions not only on my Discord, but also on all platforms on social media. So with all that being said, I was very curious how the Salt Lake City listening party was going to go down, given all the mixed reactions and what I perceived to be a lack of hype around the album. And while there wasn't much of a performance as we've come to expect from these Vultures listening parties, Ye was of course the star of the show, as he not only interacted with the fans, as you guys can see in this photo, by stepping into the crowd, but also previewing some potential new Yeezy related merch with the following all white pieces, which honestly looks to be like a continuation of some of the Yeezy Gosha or Gosha Black Dog collection we saw earlier in the rollout. Now, it was around the time that the album was actually dropping that fans also spotted some changes to the back end of Yeezy.com, which might have suggested that some merch was coming, but unfortunately none officially dropped. And instead, we would get the following glimpse of some upcoming exclusive merch, which is supposed to be in support of the upcoming Korean listening party taking place later this month, which from what I understand isn't official Yeezy branded merch and is instead being produced by the company that's bringing the listening party to Korea. So with that being said, the following picture right here that I featured in an earlier video from just a few weeks ago is starting to make a little bit more sense, as it was essentially a photo shoot for this upcoming listening party merch, and I figured now would be the best time to look at it together and gauge the opinion of all of my chefs. Now, interestingly enough, as I was doing the research for this video, I was very curious what this collection was going to cost and if they were going to keep up the whole $20 collection that Ye revolutionized with the earlier Vultures pieces, and I came across the following Instagram post which basically broke down the pricing for this collection, and we would see the cheapest item going for about $45, with the most expensive being the hoodie and retailing for $75. So while it's not exactly the same pricing as the $20 Yeezy collection, I do think that this one is pretty reasonably priced, all things considered, and I'd love to know in the comments if you guys would pick up any of these pieces if they were available outside of Korea. Now, additionally, I had also come across the following Instagram post which alleged that Ye gave his personal Vultures 2 jacket to a fan, and that fan would then go on to advertise it for sale. And it really had me thinking on whether or not I could ever actually get rid of something that one of my favorite artists gave me. So I'd love to know in the comments if you guys have ever received anything, would you actually let it go, and was this fan tripping? And while we're on the topic of merch, I also saw that the Delta Center, which hosted the listening party in Salt Lake City, also had some custom Vultures Utah Jazz jerseys available. So if you guys are Jazz fans, I think that was a dope pickup. Now, despite all of the negative reviews I saw online, Vultures 2 eventually ended up cracking over 100,000 first week sales, which is honestly pretty impressive. And again, I'd love to know in the comments what you guys think about this one, as it's been about 2 weeks since it's released. And I'd love to know your thoughts on the current state of the album and whether or not Ye actually fumbled this release, because I saw a ton of complaints about everything from the mixes of certain songs to the type of verses and how lazy Ye and his team were with this release. So it makes me wonder if he should have maybe ended things with the Donda era, as I've seen many fans accuse him of falling off, and I know this is definitely not the ending for his discography and career that anyone would have expected. Now, if you followed my channel at all throughout this Vultures era, I think it's clear I try my best to stay away from rumors more than anything, as they can be damaging and I'm really not big on misinformation. But something that came to light over the last couple of weeks that a lot of Ye fans saw is he's apparently struggling with an addiction to nitrous oxide thanks to his dentist who was responsible for the titanium grill, and it may have something to do with why this rollout has been so all over the place and why he himself has not really been all there. So if the story is true, I really hope that Ye gets the help that he needs before we have an accident on our hands. So with all that said, although I enjoyed my vacation, I'm back to cooking, and if you thought I was ever stopping, this is all I have to say.
Huh? Shit.
Now, as always, guys, thank you so much for cooking with the kitchen, and let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Like I mentioned, it's been some time since the release of Vultures 2, so I know that opinions have changed, and I'd love to know what you guys think and what your favorite song is, and if you'd like to see my reaction to it, because I still haven't listened to it. As always, guys, thank you guys for hanging in there. I've got a bunch more videos I plan on dropping over the next week or so. As always, remember to stay safe out there, and remember, it's lit straight up, and peace.